this. I don't see it flashing the screen as much as it did the last time. No, I still see it doing it. That's so weird. I really don't know what the problem is. This is why people have like dedicated cameras set up for this kind of thing. So let's put this away. Get our wash going. I don't know if I want to use this brush for this. I'll use this one though. Also turn this down a little bit. All right. Let's get that wash in there. I'm gonna try to do a brown wash for these other areas, so I don't want to go too crazy. I probably should have done my metallics next, then do a wash, but that's fine. We'll do that on the next one. Actually coming back with some non-oil on the metallics is not a huge deal. Move some of this around so it doesn't pull up so much down there. Yeah, it's still doing the autofocus. That's so weird. I'm gonna have to research that. Oh, well, nice thing with wash, if you get it somewhere where you don't want it, if you're fast, you can handle it, you can sort it out. Have I gotten, oh, I haven't gotten all of this leg yet. No worries, I see you, Mom. Hi. I know you can get an app for your TV, maybe. Well, at least your Fire Stick. Can you try holding your finger on the screen to get the focus box to disappear? Is there a focus box? I don't even see a focus box. I think it's weird with this app. I know it's gonna be shaking right now. That's just the boom. Yeah, every time I put my hand in there, it does wiggle, doesn't it? That's a good question. Actually, I went to the settings. Of course, it shuts the stream down when you do that. And I didn't see anywhere where I could actually just turn off autofocus. Maybe it's a setting with Twitch. Oh wow, I've got way too much right here. I need to pull some of this off. Let me do a quick search real quick. Maybe I can find out. Let's see. Twitch app. IRL streaming. autofocus. Because it's nice to be able to just stream from my phone, because that means I don't have to bring a computer in here and do all that stuff. Oh, here we go. How do we disable it? I think you need to adjust it in camera settings. Okay, well, it's not camera settings. I think we've already done this playlist before. Let's do this one. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like you can disable that. Which is weird, because a computer camera would not have that problem. This one's definitely gonna get content ID'd. That's not what I thought it was gonna be. Let's see, let's change this to something else. Not like I'm monetized on YouTube anymore anyways, so who gives a shit? I wonder if it needs to be even higher. That would be kind of weird, but... because then it would be hard to see the miniature, right? Did I hit this? I don't know if I did. Oh, maybe I did. Maybe this one won't get uploaded to YouTube. Probably because the intro is all messed up now. All right, let's get some wash on the top, and then we'll switch to our brown wash. Try to get some of these flatter panels moved around. You can really see the difference that using a wash makes, just between like the different panels there, different colors. It's cool how much detail it brings out. Oh, that's a bit too much, but that's okay. Pick some of that up and move it around. Cool thing about brushes, they kind of act like sponges. If you get a little too much wash in one area, you can always move it around to somewhere else. If you're quick. I'm surprised at how quickly this is kind of coming together. Some of these panels, if it's too dark, like that's an area where it's kind of drying, and I don't really want to wipe that away right now because I'll have what's called a coffee stain. So I'll just go back with some of the army green and hit that once it's dry. Bring that collar back out. I think I need to get the front of the mech right now. So this guy is 6 millimeters scale, which means that a 6 foot human would be 6 millimeters tall. So basically like that, I think, would be about 6 millimeters. Very small. And the cool thing about having stuff this scale is that you can do all kinds of fun stuff with terrain and battlefields, and we're gonna be doing some of that. So I'll have some of that stuff to paint soon. I think we've got the green everywhere I need it. I might hit this spot up real quick, these toesies. Get some wash in there. Make sure that's how I want it. And I might set this aside and let this dry a little bit, and we'll move on to painting some of the camo on one of the other mechs. And then I'll come back on this and get some of that brown wash on there, and then we can go and hit the highlights once all that dries. I know I'm doing it a little bit backwards. I think probably should have had like the metallics done, but I feel like I kind of want to get the base paint down before I do the metallics. Because with the metallics, I will need to pull up a reference image or two. Obviously you can kind of guess where the metallics are going to be, but I just want to be accurate. There we go. Close this guy up so he doesn't spill. That would be very sad because these are like the 12 bucks a pop or something, which is ridiculous. I'm digging that look though. That actually came out a lot better than I thought it would. I've never really done camo before, so that's pretty fun. And one nice thing about this handle, it's magnetized, so I can just take this off, swap it out. Set it aside. Choose another model, which I think I'm feeling. Maybe I'll do the Vindicator next. That'll be fun. Get him added to one of these. Hey Melkor, how are you doing? How you been? All the OGs are coming out. Well, welcome to the stream. I've never really done an IRL stream before, so, well, other than, what was it, Tuesday, I did a BattleTech stream. Well, BattleTech painting stream. My drink is good. Unfortunately, Twitch toss, I can't tell you what my drink is. But it's very good. I don't know if I have any of that stuff set up. What bot is that? I have to see how long this has been. I think you may have been one of my first ever follows. That's awesome. Aw. Yeah, I think I started streaming when Twitch was pretty young. I probably should have kept up with it. I could have been a bigger streamer, but has its moments. Sometimes when you stream things, you kind of, it's hard to keep a passion for something if you're just streaming it all the time. Back when you first started playing Star Citizen, yeah, that tracks. I have streamed a lot of Star Citizen. I really don't know how the people that do nothing but stream Star Citizen, like, make a living off of it. I guess if you do, you kind of end up like Salty Mike, where you're just been in the game for a while and you're kind of over it. Let's see. I don't know how I want that to go through. I'm thinking I might do a cross along his chest, maybe. Is BattleTech as expensive as Warhammer 40,000? No, not even close. So I'll be honest, this model and all of the ones I'm painting now are all 3D printed. So technically, they cost the cost of a 3D printer and resin, which is expensive. However, actual official BattleTech models, which I do have here to show you, are quite expensive, quite inexpensive, I should say. For example, here's an official BattleTech mech, and it's just as high quality, honestly, I think, as the resin. There might be a few mold lines to clean up here or there. It's hard for me to tell. I mean, yeah, I can see some mold lines here to clean up, but overall, it's super high quality. In some ways, painting this might be a little easier due to how some of the detail is set up. However, that said, there is a lot of detail you can get with a resin print. The downside of the resin print, though, is that you have to set them up yourself. So you have to do your own, supports, and you can kind of tell if I get this. Maybe I'll bring it up a little close, maybe so you can see it. There's little dots, and that's where I had supports. I definitely over supported this. I'm horrible at doing my own supports, but I did get them printed, and it's on the back side of the model, so it's not going to be a huge deal. But that is a downside of the resin printing, as well as it is a fair amount of like labor to clean up the models and things like that. It's not that big of a deal, though. So there's a pro and a con. I think each one of these, they sell packs. This is from the beginner box. In the beginner box, I got like 8 mechs, and I think I paid about $45 for the beginner box, and that's got the rules and everything. And then there are like mech packs you can get that have like 4 to 5 mechs, and I think they're around, they vary in price. I think they're maybe around $30 or so, 20 to 30. So you are looking maybe at least about $5 a mech. So not super cheap, but honestly, considering that, you know, this is one of the bigger mechs, you're not up to like $500, 2,000 point armies like you are with Warhammer. $500 gets you a lot of mechs. a starter set in 40K to buy a printer. Yeah, that's true. The upside is you can print things like this, which is not an Ogren. He doesn't have a head right now. That's not an Ogren. It's a space ogre. But you can play games like One Page Rules, which is not Warhammer, but it plays a lot like Warhammer. You can also do D&D miniatures. This is a Patreon made this. This is from an Icewind Dale campaign. It's 3 kobolds in a winter clothing. You do cute things like this. This is from one of my other Patreons from Titan Forge. It's like a cute gnome on a bunny rabbit. I printed this, which is also one of my Patreons. It's kind of a cyberpunk car for Cyberpunk Red or whatever you wanted to use it for. That's also from Cyberforge, which is Titan Forge. These are not Warhammer orcs. They're just generic orcs that go on a generic, not a Speed Freak car. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do with the 3D printer. I do have a lot of Patreons I subscribe to. $500 barely gets... I play MechWarrior. Yes, I do. I play MechWarrior. I'm getting into playing the board game. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm painting up some garrison mechs so I can set up some fun scenarios. I also play the turn-based Harebrained Schemes game. Really dig Rogue Tech with that. Yeah, $500. I was watching. I do watch. It's funny. I don't play Warhammer, but I watch a lot of Warhammer videos on YouTube because a lot of the really good painters also paint Warhammer. Because oddly enough, Warhammer is what everybody wants to watch for YouTube content as far as painting videos. I kind of wish that wasn't the case, and there kind of is it seems like a resurgence as far as BattleTech popularity, which is kind of cool. So I'm seeing a lot of those creators get into BattleTech and paint BattleTech mechs, which is awesome. The lore stuff for 40K. I do like the 40K lore. I will say Dark Tide got me a lot more into 40K. I actually really liked that game. It's a little unfortunate it hasn't had more content come out for it. But I quite enjoyed what was there. I really enjoyed my Imperial Guard character. That's actually why this is kind of a Cadian inspired paint job on these garrison mechs. Is because I really enjoyed the Cadian lore. I was actually like this close to buying the Cadian box set, and it's just so expensive I didn't. But what I did do, and I'll show you this if you don't tell anybody on me. I have 3D printed a Rogaldorn. So this guy, magnetized main gun. This guy will get painted at some point as a Cadian tank. Do I have a favorite faction for BattleTech or 40K? I think we're slowly getting back into the mech popularity. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the last Kickstarter was Mercenaries. It just concluded, and they hit $7 million on that Kickstarter. I backed it at regiment level, so I'm gonna be having a lot of goodies come my way. 40K Imperial Guard. There's something, well, Imperial Guard and orcs. For orcs, they're just goofy and awesome, and I love their technology. I never really played 40K, but like, I mean, I remember back in 2016, I very nearly bought like a DACA jet just because I loved how it looked. And I loved the little orc that was inside of it, looking all crazy. And And as far as Imperial Guard, that's kind of a more recent thing with Dark Tide. And I love the idea of just regular ass humans just throwing themselves at all the dark horrors of the universe in 40K. That's just really cool to me. Plus they have cool tanks, and tanks are always awesome. I don't know anything about BattleTech other than being a tabletop about mechs. Dude, Melchior, the BattleTech lore is just as deep as Warhammer. It's just a little different because Warhammer, obviously, you've got a lot of fantasy elements with Warhammer. You know, you've got like space elves, and you've got, you know, there's even kind of magical influences on even in the 40K space with the chaos stuff. But BattleTech's a little more, you know, there's no magic, there's no aliens, there's no demons, but there's still really cool like intrigue and stuff like that. So it has just as deep of lore and really cool lore too. So I would say definitely check it out. It's more like Star Wars and Star Trek. That's actually a great Ordinary Men Against Cosmic Horror. Yeah, that's exactly why I love the Imperial Guard. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Star Wars and Star Trek. Yeah, I think BattleTech's a little more on the Star Trek side, and Warhammer's a little more on the Star Wars side. That doesn't mean one's better than the other. I think they're both really cool. In fact, I have a couple more guys I need to paint. This is from a company called Station Forge. I have a not commissar, and I have a not female commissar that I'm going to paint up at some point in like Cadian colors. Warhammer's more satirical than BattleTech. Yeah, that's a fair point. I think also Warhammer, it's a little more over the top in some ways than BattleTech. Again, like there's definitely a place for that, and I think that spectacle is a lot of fun to play with. I'm actually a huge fan of Warhammer Fantasy, specifically Vermintide, and but more specifically Warhammer Total War. So I'm actually kind of excited that they're returning to proper Warhammer Fantasy, it seems like. I don't know if it'll get me to buy any models because they are so very expensive. But if I do, and they bring back Tomb Kings, I might buy some Tomb Kings. I don't know. Maybe a figure or two just to see what it's all about. But I do have a lot. I've got a fuck ton of BattleTech coming with this last Kickstarter. The over the topness, like I said though, it has its charm. I think that's why people like it. And honestly, yeah, I actually really hope that they come out with some more content with Dark Tide, because I kind of just miss playing that game. It was a lot of fun to just play. Although the progression in it, once you kind of build your character out and you get to max level, you kind of feel like you're capped out. Do you like Japanese Mechasite Gunpla? I loved some of the Gundam series. I've never built a Gunpla, but I'm not against doing it. I might try it one of these days. I'm gonna sound like such a normie, but my first Gundam was Gundam Wing, and I absolutely loved it. But I was like a teenager, a young teenager when I saw it, so it's very much a young teenager kind of show with all the melodrama. But I loved it nonetheless. Yeah, Lancer is very Japanese mech influenced. Gunpla's, yeah, Gunpla's pretty popular. Well, the thing with Warhammer Fantasy is, like, I think currently they're still on Sigmar. I don't like any of the Age of Sigmar stuff. I looked at Age of Sigmar when I was, like, really, really into Warhammer Total War. But it turned me off because they didn't have Tomb Kings, and that was one of my favorite factions because I've always liked Egyptian lore and stuff like that, and the Tomb Kings with their aesthetic really tickled that, and they had cool shit like fucking giant obsidian sphinxes and things like that. So I was kind of looking for that kind of thing, and Age of Sigmar just doesn't have it. And I also really liked the undead factions, and Age of Sigmar also had like a neutered version of the undead factions. But I hear that proper Warhammer Fantasy is coming back. Am I a fan of the Necrons? I've never really played anything Necron related, although there's a Necron game that came out not too long ago that I do have now, I think, on Epic Games. I need to play. I love the aesthetic of the Necrons, though. It's Terminator meets Tomb Kings, so I'm all about that. That's very cool. Yeah, it is Spork. I apologize. I don't know how to turn off the autofocus. I hope it's not too bad. I think before the next time I stream, I'm gonna have to figure out how to disable that. Gladius has Necrons. That's it. I have Gladius, yeah. I need to play it sometime. I feel like I need a stripe going up this way. And I might continue this stripe down here. No, Warhammer is very cool. I just wish that Games Workshop wasn't so insane when it comes to their pricing. It's like Civ, Gladius is? I thought Civ was turn-based. What's the turn-based one? Like XCOM. I am actually really excited for Rogue Trader. That's coming out. It's being made by the people that made the Pathfinder games, Owlcat. I'm really, really looking forward to the Rogue Trader game. And I really hope that you can recruit an orc freebooter. That is actually a lore thing. There are orcs that work for rogue traders, and they're called freebooters. So I really hope that's a thing in the game, because I want to have an orc boy, because orcs are awesome. I think it's Mechanicus I'm thinking about. I think that's the one. Yeah, I've got Mechanicus. I need to play it sometime. Ooh, that was a little messy, but it's fine. Bring that up this way. I don't even know if you can see that. Mechanicus, yeah, it is Mechanicus then. It's fantastic. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to install it and play it then. I've got the, I know my friend wants me to play more of the 40K Diablo type game, which I did enjoy. It's got the Sister of Battle. That's also a faction I really like, and apparently Sisters of Battle is the most expensive faction to actually collect if you were to get into Warhammer tabletop. So that's fun. Kind of digging this. I feel like I might, I don't want to do too much crisscrossy stuff. Although I feel like I could use something here. I don't know, maybe we'll keep it simple. Let's see what it looks like compared to the cicada. So that's the thing, Spork. One of my, the one-page rules, they make their own resin miniatures. And of course, I'm subscribed to them. And they do have a Nuns of War kind of thing. So I might print some of those. Yeah, I think we're good, actually. I don't want to go too crazy on this. I think that kind of falls in line with what I've got going on with the cicada. Kind of digging it. Everybody likes Mechanicus. Yeah, I'll have to check it out for sure. I'm not really taking a break from gaming. I'm just getting myself ready for Diablo 4 because I know once that drops, we'll be spending a lot of time playing it. And I'm kind of in a mood to paint miniatures and get some of these things done. Might make this one a little thicker. The nice thing about, I've never really painted camo before, but something that I'm really appreciating about it is that it's kind of like a Bob Ross session, right? Like there's no wrong way to paint a mountain and there's no wrong way to paint your camo in. I'm sure there's people that do like crazy, I have seen people do like crazy digi camo on Mechs, and hey man, more power to them. That's not me yet. Maybe one of these days, we'll see. I'm still kind of a new painter, but I have fun with it, so that's kind of all that matters. I don't really have any aspirations of being like a pro painter or anything like that. So that kind of takes some of the load off. Also, I have like such a huge backlog right now that I'm gonna start doing a lot of like using speed paints and things like that to get things done, especially for our D&D campaign, because I have a backlog. This little, I'm gonna mess that up a little bit, but that's okay. I can always clean this up later. Let's see. Just want to make sure these are good and rich, these colors. Because we're going to be putting a wash on here, and then we'll go back, bring back some of that detail that we lose, or some of that brightness that we lose with the wash. And then the metallics will go on. Oops, well, that was a big oops. Thankfully it's on the bottom of the model. Yeah, I'm kind of liking it. I've always liked the Vindicator, I think, because in every computer game I've played, you always have a Vindicator towards the start. MechWarrior 5, you know, it's easy to get a Vindicator. You might even start with one in some starts. Definitely BattleTech, the Harebrained Schemes game. And it's actually decent if you can actually hit with the PPC. If you can hit with the PPC, it's decent. If you can't, well, you're kind of SOL, I guess. So I guess I kind of like the Vindicator. There's sexier mechs out there. I've printed a few. I've even painted a few. In fact, I don't think Melchior's seen this. Let me get it out. Where is it? Here's one. This one is done except for basing. This is a Marauder. I just like the Vindicator because I played it a ton in MechWarrior Online for light arena battles. Basically the best mech in class for MWO arena battles, so I'm nostalgic. Yeah, I was gonna say Timberwolf. I love Timberwolf, dude. Timberwolf is my favorite mech overall. I'm looking forward to painting this guy up a lot. Timberwolf is my favorite mech. I know it's the poster child for the series. I don't care. It is still my favorite mech. And yeah, it's just my favorite. Overall, it's my favorite. But I wanted to paint some low tier mechs to have for scenarios to play. And a Vindicator certainly fits that. It's low tier, but it's not a horrible mech. You know what's crazy? Actually, I need to plug my camera in real quick because it's the battery's dying, but I'll be right back. So Spork was talking about MechWarrior Online. What's actually kind of funny about that, I was looking at Steam charts about who's playing what for mech games, BattleTech games, and there are more people playing MechWarrior 5 online than MechWarrior Online at any given point in time. And there are also more people playing the Harebrained Schemes BattleTech game than MechWarrior Online at any given time. So I guess MechWarrior Online is not doing too great right now, at least on Steam. I hate the Vindicator for field battles though. It's just slow for its class. Yeah, that's a fair point. I think honestly, so here's the thing, for tabletop, things change a lot because with the tabletop, you're rolling dice, there's an RNG element. The Harebrained Schemes BattleTech is kind of similar. We'll see how it plays in tabletop. But I think for a garrison mech, it doesn't need to be fast because it's a defensive mech. So I feel like for a garrison mech, it's gonna be pretty good, but we'll see obviously how it plays out. Really hyped the Armored Core is coming back. Yeah, me too. I've never really played an Armored Core game, and this will kind of be my first, but provided the PC port is good, I will be playing it. If it's got cover, it can be good. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on to some of the brown. For that, we're gonna use Agrax Earthshade. Sorry the camera is bouncing around. I do apologize. I'm gonna try to figure that out before the next stream. And I probably will stream this weekend because I'm gonna have some time to kill. Oh, here we go. Hey Drago, how are you doing? I've only played the PS1 and 2 AC games, so this new one seems way too fast from when I used to, but I'm also looking forward to it. I think I watched a video and they said that, this one is somewhere between Armored Core, what was it, 4 and 5? I think is what they said. 3 and 5, okay. I don't have anything to compare it to other than MechWarrior 5, and it's super fast compared to MechWarrior 5. But I love Gundam, so I'm all for a Gundam experience. Although obviously you can build your Armored Core in different ways, so you don't have to build it like a super fast Gundam. But here's the thing. The game has beam sabers in it, So my inner like 15-year-old that watched Gundam Wing will definitely want the beam saber. So I probably will be playing it on like Gundam crackhead speeds. But honestly, you know, man, I play MechWarrior 5, so I've got MechWarrior 5 for my slow mech battles. So I'll play Armored Core 6 for my Gundam stuff. I think that'll work out just fine. It's a very dark brown on this earth shade, and we're definitely going to have to come back through and brighten up some of these colors. MechWarrior 4 is like 5 on steroids and crack. Is MechWarrior 5 that fast? It's been a while since I played it. I do want to play it though, because I hear that the Solaris Arena in MechWarrior 4 is just like chef's kiss. And I know that Duncan Fisher has a bunch of lines. And Duncan Fisher is awesome, as is the voice actor that plays Duncan Fisher. Which is George Ledoux, I think. Oh, AC4. AC4 is like crackhead. Gotcha. No, I dig that. Like, I'm totally fine with that. I like mobility like that in a game, so... I really hope to see more Lancer computer games in the future. Someone kickstart a top-down tactical game. I would play a Lancer computer game. I don't think I think as far as tabletop, I feel like my dance card is full, right? Like I play D&D and playing BattleTech, and I want to get into one-page rules, which is basically not Warhammer. So I feel like I'm kind of topped off there. Getting a bit messy with this. I need to tighten up a little bit. I want to play both MechWarrior 4 and Mechs. I think I did play them at one point, but it's been so long. And I don't think I've actually played MechWarrior 4 Mechs. But I know one of them has like a whole Solaris thing. There's also Living Legends I could reinstall. I haven't really played that in a very long time, and it was very rudimentary when I did play it. Cool thing about Living Legends is that you get to do vehicles and aerospace. When I played it, the mod was pretty new and aerospace was pretty jank, as in not fun to fly at all, but maybe that's changed. From analysis videos I saw, it seems like a good balance of the Armored Core games, but it also uses what it learned from Souls and Sekiro. Yeah, I think you might have seen the same video I have. Like, the lock-on system is better than in past games because it uses more like a Souls-like lock-on system, which I'm not a huge expert on Souls-like games, but I'm familiar with that lock-on system and I do like it. I'm just gonna hit these up real quick, these armor panels. We'll be lightening up them up later, so I'm not super worried about it looking too dark right now. What's standalone? You can link a video, yeah, that's fine. Appreciate the ask. it's getting a little messy. I'm definitely gonna have to come back through. I don't know if Agrax was the right call for this, but it'll be fine. I think it is the right call. It's just, I'm gonna have to lighten up these panels. It's funny, I have absolutely no loyalty when it comes to paint. I use whatever I like. In general, I like Army Painter paints because they're really good quality and they are inexpensive. However, I'm not a huge fan of their washes. So I thought I would splurge and try some of the Citadel washes. And I have to say I'm actually a big fan of the washes now, of theirs. That said, I think as far as like speed paints versus contrast paints, I think speed paints went out. And in general, I think Army Painter paints went out. Really dig Vallejo stuff too. I bought some of their metallics to try, and their metallics are amazing. I use their primer for priming and absolutely love it. And I'm sure their regular paints are absolutely amazing too. This looks really dirty now. It actually doesn't look horrible though. We'll come back through and we'll lighten up some of those tan colors. Yeah, kind of digging that. The old AC games, from what I understand, have a big box. Yes, that's right. They have a big box that anything in the box gets locked, but it doesn't stick to the target. Yeah, the new one, it's gonna stick to the target, which I definitely prefer. And I think this is my logic with AC6. I think that like Souls-like lock-on system is gonna make melee combat with your mechs a lot more fun. And so that's probably why I'm just gonna go full on Gundam and make a fucking Beam Saber Gundam. And if it can look like a Gundam, that's even better. I should do a Gunpla. That might be fun for a stream. I saw there's like entry level but nice kits for about 20 bucks, and they have a Gundam Wing one, and the Gundam Wing one turns into flight mode, which I'm not gonna lie, is something I was kind of like, holy shit, I need this. So maybe I will do a Gunpla video. Is that something people would want to see? Something I like about doing these mechs versus maybe doing like D&D characters is that it really seems like you can accomplish a lot as far as getting a mech painted and done in a relatively short amount of time. Whereas I feel like with D&D characters, I want them to look like realistic, and you know, the skin has to be perfect, and it's almost like a paralysis, right? Like you get stun locked trying to make everything look great. And with a mech, it's like I got a color scheme I want to do, and I paint that color scheme and everything is good. My mom, when she was probably my age actually, she did oil painting, and she might even be watching right now. So if you're watching, hi Mom. She painted, she could paint like a photorealistic painting. Like she had this one wolf that was, she used a photo as an inspiration, but it was like a photorealistic painting that she did. And it's amazing. Like I don't have those kind of talents, but I'm more than happy to kind of paint in the dotted line, so to speak, with these miniatures. I'm not a 2D artist, but I've always liked 3D. Like, you know, you give me some clay or some Lego and I'll make some shit. Like romantic area stuff, I don't know about that. She got her start with like Bob Ross, but then she kind of got to a point to where she could just, you know, paint. You know, you could show her a photo and she could paint it, and it was like, she could do like photorealistic. Like, I think this wolf painting in particular was like a picture from National Geographic of a wolf, and she painted it and it looked just like the photo. It was amazing. You ever thought about getting a Warhammer 40k Knight or Titan just as an art piece? For that kind of money, I think I would rather buy stuff for 3D printing. She does, well, no, because she was great with landscape and living creatures, because she did a horse painting for my grandfather, and which I totally have dibs on. That's staying in the family for sure. She did a horse painting that was also very photorealistic and very cute of a horse. And yeah, I'm not much of a 2D artist, but I like 3D. That's kind of the space I operate in. Get these in there. Man, washing is so cool, because when you start washing and you start seeing that detail pop out, it just gets really exciting. Just seeing all that kind of detail. Especially at this scale, you know? It's cool to see it pop out. So it's kind of, yeah, I definitely am my like parents' child, because my father, he used to make models, like model airplanes and model cars. And he would get so involved. Like, he did model cars, and he would do, like, if you open the little hood up, you could see, like, he'd do plug wires going to the distributor. He'd do all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm definitely somewhere in between, right? Maybe a little more on my dad's side, because yeah, models are a lot more my speed as far as this 3D stuff goes. I think it's fun to, being somebody that actually, like, I work with computers every day. A lot of my entertainment is on a computer. It's really fun to just go analog for a bit, like completely analog, either, you know, with like a fun tabletop game, a war game, or D&D, and have that craft element to it where you're making stuff for it. It's just kind of nice to actually have something to hold in your hand, right? Hey Elvis, how you doing tonight? Or this afternoon? Or this morning, depending on where you are. I actually have some fond memories of the Clint, which is what I'm painting right now, from the BattleTech Rogue Tech mod, which is a mod that, well, it does a lot of stuff, adds a lot of mods for the base BattleTech game by Harebrained Schemes, but it also kind of interfaces online. And you can actually, with the help of other players, take over various territories for your faction. And the in-game world map actually changes along as you do that, which is kind of cool. You obviously don't have to play it like that, but it's a lot of fun if you do. There's like a whole community around it. And one of the first mechs I had in my little group was a Clint, one of these guys. Central Time, I'm also Central Time. What's my day job? I work in IT. So pretty much dealing with technical issues all day and stuff like that. So it's nice not having to deal with the machine now and then. Pray to the machine god. That's right. Get these. Those are those like jump jets? I don't know if the Clint actually has jump jets. Kind of do look like it though. It's actually a really cool part of the Mechanicus game, the machine god. So you play as the Adeptus Mechanicus, right? Are you like kind of raiding, you're raiding Necron tombs and stuff? Is that basically what you're doing? I don't know too much about the game other than it plays kind of like XCOM. The contrast of these two factions, one who wants to be like machines and the other who are machines but want to reclaim their organic selves. That is cool. Kind of reminds me a bit of Vampire the Masquerade. In that game, or in those games, I should say, it's all about keeping your humanity. Whereas, you know, like Dungeons and Dragons, you know, it's all about like doing heroic acts and things like that. And Vampire, it's all about retaining, you know, what makes you human, even though you are technically a monster. The Mechanicus who are raiding, exploring a Necron tomb world. That does sound cool. I'll have to install that and give it a shot. I think I got it. I might have got it in a Humble Bundle or something. I'm like, that was like one of the reasons why I didn't pause that much a month. I'm like, oh, this game was cool. Let's see, where did I miss any spots with the green? I don't think so. I think we're good on this guy. Yeah, I think we're good here. The music in... Oh, you know, I think I saw ACG's review and he was mentioning the music specifically for was it Mechanicus? Yeah. Another cool thing is that the Mechanicus talking what are basically dial-up tones while the Necrons talk in English. That's cool. Both BattleTech and Mechanicus run like absolute ass on my machine. Still kind of tempted to reinstall though. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, if BattleTech is running like ass, probably don't install RogueTech then, because it does add a lot. Oh, with integrated graphics? Yeah, that'll do her. Is this dry? Man, that got splotchy. We'll clean that up though. It's kind of funny. We've only really worked on 2 mechs, but the Citadel washes dry so fast that I haven't really had to rotate, even though I have like a full lance here to work through. Poorly, but it runs. Oh, sorry. I actually just ran my head in the light. I will figure out this like autofocus issue. I do apologize. I know it's probably super annoying to watch, but I'll figure it out. Because I'll probably paint a bunch this weekend because it's just going to be me here. And yeah, I really want to have fun and paint, and it's actually really fun for me to hang out with everyone while I paint. All right, let's touch up some of these tan areas. We'll get a little bit of our skeleton bone. Just start going over some of these areas. It really darkened it up a lot, didn't it? So I have a question for chat. Is there any interest in seeing actual BattleTech, the tabletop gameplay streams? Because what I'm thinking about doing, because my significant other absolutely fucking loves BattleTech, and we both want to get better at the game, I want to do 1v1 Solaris arena fights. And I think it could be fun to stream. Basically, I want it to be like an hour or less kind of thing that we can do every week, just so we get in the flow of playing the game. I need to add some more skeleton bone. The cool thing is I almost have all of the terrain that I need for it. Have I touched Star Citizen recently? Yes, I played the first weekend of Xenothreat before servers kind of started dying. But I haven't really touched it a lot since because the servers really have been dying. .319 is a lot better. Xeno's been a shit show. Oh, are you playing 319? Is that on PTU? It's on PTU? Okay, cool. 319, that also has component salvaging, right? I've really been having fun with the salvaging gameplay loop. Components, missiles, and weapons, both selling and swapping. Ooh, that's rad. I like that. I'm not sure if Agrax was the right color for this. Man, it really got this stuff dark. Trying to get in there without totally killing my shadows that the wash added for me. Is that one of the big, yeah, it's a cicada. Yep. I kind of like these guys, even though I kind of hate them. Because in MechWarrior 5, they love to run away from you. But I don't know, I still kind of dig them. They seem kind of iconic. And they're not as squishy as a locust, which is also a plus. Tell me I watched Zoids as a kid. Like, Zoids is in like Megazoids, like, or Zords. Actually, that's Zords. I'm thinking of Zords. I'm thinking of Power Rangers. I don't know if I know what Zoids is. The anime about robot animals. I don't think I have seen that. Cicadas are slightly easier to hit than locusts, but just as fragile, so I like them. Like Gundam. So here's the thing. You're probably gonna hate me for this. I actually don't like animal mecha. I think that stems from my dislike of Transformers Beast Wars, because in my mind I loved the Autobots as in cars. And I hated Beast Wars because I'm like, they're not fucking cars, they're not jets, they're stupid fucking animals. It is a car girl bias, I'm not gonna lie. But that's just me. I know a lot of people like him, so more power to you. That said though, here I am painting like a bug flavored mech. So. Sorry if that's not quite in frame. I'm still learning how to, it's actually, it reminds me a lot of stage acting. You have like a mark with this stuff. You have to try to stay in the mark. Man, the Agrax really did make things really dark, didn't it? They were just animals, they didn't transform? Oh, no, like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I did like Power Rangers, and they were just fucking animals. I mean, they kind of transformed, though. I did like Power Rangers. Although, I think first-gen Power Rangers are the best Power Rangers. Because how can you top fucking dinosaurs and dragons and shit, and saber-toothed tigers? You can't. Apparently there's a new Power Ranger movie out that's got some of the original people in it. Did you see the yeah, that's it, the Netflix special. No, I haven't seen it, but we have it. Hill really loved Power Rangers, so yeah, we're gonna watch it at some point. Just haven't yet. It's an hour-long episode. I have to know one thing, though. One thing. Is Bulk and Skull in it? Because if they're not in it, I don't know if I want to watch it. Are they even alive, honestly? Like, we're... It seems like so long ago. It's like, oh my God, are those actors even alive still? They have a visual cameo. They're business owners. I'll you know what? I'll settle for that. I'll settle for that. I'll settle for that. That's too bad. It's just visual though. Man, I'm still going through. I don't know. Agrax is like really a cool shade, but I feel like it might have been a little bit too much for this. Maybe I'll do... God, I don't know. Green would not work either. I'll just be more selective about how I apply it. Joni and Bosch is the Green Ranger, but he's big V. Yeah, man, it's so sad about the original Green Ranger. Because I was reading some stuff, and like like it seemed like he was actually a legitimately good guy. And even though there was I think he was actually one of the few to actually kind of push back against some of the shit that the Blue Ranger had to deal with. Was it Daniel Yost or something? He actually legitimately seemed like a decent guy, and he loved being the Green Ranger, which you can't say for a lot of actors, because a lot of times they don't want to get typecast and they hate their role that they played that made them famous. It's not looking too bad. Man, that is really fucking dark, that brown though. Just be like Nick Cage and typecast yourself as yourself. That's right. Dude, I actually really liked that movie he was in with Pedro Pascal. It was pretty fun. Was it amazing? Like, was it... I mean, honestly, it was probably better than most of the movies that are coming out now. Well, let me walk that back, because we have gotten some really good movies recently. It was better than most of the movies that were coming out at the time. Oof, I got a little bit too sloppy with the Agrax, didn't I? It's called, what was it called? The Infinite Truth or something. What was that called? He basically plays himself, and Pedro plays a guy that is like a huge mega fan of Nick Cage. And he might be a drug dealer. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Yes, that's it. It was a fun movie. It was a really fun movie. I'm kind of curious how this Renfield is, because Nick Cage plays vampire, and we know that when Nick Cage plays a vampire, funny things happen, so... I still need to go see Super Mario Brothers. We haven't seen that yet. We did see the D&D movie, and the D&D movie was amazing. It's just really sad that it didn't perform well, because it was actually a legitimately good movie. And my owlbear was in it. That's in my campaign. That's my owlbear. I was actually surprised about that. I'm sorry, that was way out of frame, wasn't it? So hard to tell. Lighten up some of these areas a little bit. Hit some of these highlights. Yeah, I think I kind of brought some of those colors back. What do you guys think? Oh, I still have some other spots to do. Super Mario Bros. Is a great movie, not groundbreaking or anything, but a very solid animated movie with tons of references. So if you're a big Mario fan or just a fan of gaming in general, they did Mario right, is all I say. That's honestly, that's all I want anymore, dude. Like, it's so hard to get, like, it's so hard to get shows or movies that actually respect the properties that it's based on. That, like, that's all I want. Like, that's something that Dungeons and Dragons did. They respected the source material. And I'll be honest, as far as like fantasy movies go, I honestly think the D&D movie was probably one of the best like fantasy movies, like medieval fantasy movies that I've seen since Return of the King. I think we'll hit those green areas up and I think we'll be good. And we can move on to the metallics for this one. There's a few areas I'm gonna touch up real quick. That's all I want, honestly. I sure, yeah, I mean, it could be better in certain ways, but I just want fun movies, man. Like, remember when we used to have movies, there'd be like, you know, it'd be blockbuster season and we'd have all these movies we'd want to go see over a summer. And it would be this like amazing summer of all these movies that were awesome. And it's like, we lost that with like COVID and all that. So I just want good shit. I'm tired of bad stuff. Let's see, let's do a little bit of touch up here. One of these times I want to do, I actually have some Gundam, I have some Gundam panel line accent liner. I might try using this instead of washes. Just really selective use of it. Shigeru Miyamoto was one of the producers. I don't think he would have allowed anyone to mess with this baby. There's a bit of hand waving on certain things. I kind of wish they explored more stuff, but they only gave a brief look at. But the most exciting thing I got from the movie is that it sets itself up really well to have an extended Mario universe and could possibly do a Nintendo cinematic. Yes, dude. Honestly, I think that like, I think a Nintendo cinematic universe would work really well. I think a lot of us would love to see a Zelda movie. If any movie lends itself well, or any game of Nintendo's that lends itself well to a film, it's got to be Zelda, right? Although it'll be interesting because how do you do the voice for Link? Do you do like an "excuse me, princess"? Or what? Like, how do you play that? I'm just touching up these panels real quick because they're so prominent and I actually really dig how they look. Let's get a Metroid movie. Oh, dude, a Metroid movie would be rad. My partner she absolutely loves Metroid and she would fucking flip over that. It's depends on if they do both child adult link or just one or the other. I think adult link is what they should do if they do a film. If they kind of made like, if they kind of made maybe Zelda the more adult of the Nintendo cinematic movies. I don't mean adult as in like violence or anything like that. I just mean like Link has gone through a lot of shit. So if they kind of realistically kind of take on stuff like that, maybe that could work. Although having it fun and adventurous could be cool too, and lighthearted. If we're gonna, honestly, here's what the next sequel should really be though. Luigi's Mansion. The next sequel should be Luigi's Mansion. The next Nintendo movie, I should say. Link has his voice stolen by Ganon and has to get it back while saving Hyrule. Yeah, that would work. Hard agree on Luigi. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I love Luigi's Mansion. Mario. Where did you go, Mario? Oh, that was horrible. Seemed like in the Mario movie they're about to do Luigi's Mansion side plot. Oh shit, really? Okay, don't tell me too much. I really do want to go see it. Maybe we'll go see it. Oh shit, we can't go this weekend. Oh, we could go on Monday. Maybe Monday, I don't know. She has soccer tournaments all weekend. That's why I'll be painting Mechs all weekend. Oh shit, I shouldn't have washed it out. I just saw all these spots I need to hit up with some highlights. All right, I do need to take a real quick, like 2-minute break and I'll be right back. So just chill out, talk about stuff in chat. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm sort of back. I'm mixing up something I can't talk about on Twitch, but I'll tell you what's in it. It has sugar cane that's been gone through a process. It has mint. It has lime, and it has carbonated water. So I'll let you infer what you will of that, because Twitch is lame now. I remember the days when we used to do shots for subs. That was pretty fun. But you can't do anything fun like that anymore. Kind of one of the advantages of having kind of an open layout and your painting area is like right on the side of the kitchen is that you can quite easily get yourself a refreshment. And I can knock all the stuff off that's drying. There we go. Delicious. Cannabis? No, it's not. Although it is legal here. I could. Twitch has been lame for a while. Yeah, it has, dude. It really has. I blame Jeff Bezos. Sorry, not sorry, Jeff. Where was the spot that I said I missed? That needs hit right there a little bit. There was a spot that I missed and I can't remember where it was. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I found it. Really? I thought all that was like against Haas. I know you definitely cannot do the thing that's legal in my state on stream. Uh-oh. Let's touch that line up a little bit. But that's probably because that's like a federal thing, which is so stupid. How Biden was supposed to like legalize that. We won't go into that. Got a few other dirtier spots. Oh, I see. Oh, you can drink on stream, but you can't do like subs for show. Okay, well, fuck it. I'm having a mojito. I won't show you it. I'll be honest. This is the amount of fucks I give on if I get banned on Twitch. So I just don't care. I'm just here for fun. Because it actually is fun to hang out and paint with everybody. Hanging out, chatting. Oh, really? Okay, well, maybe it's not as draconian as I thought on Twitch. Shake it up. Shaking it up here. Gonna switch to some army green. Hit some of these green spots that are a little darkened. What do you guys think of the paint job? Do you guys like it so far? We still have a lot to do. We've got metallics to do. But I don't know, this has been kind of fun. I like it. We're gonna be selective about how we do this green. I'm gonna try to get it mostly on the flat parts that are sticking up. Try to wipe away some of that super dark. Super dark wash look without getting... You like the military paint schemes? Cool. Yeah, I thought this would be fun for like a generic Garrison mech look. Because I still want them to look good because I'm probably going to be playing these a lot. I want to put together like a campaign. Come from a military background. Do you watch the... Is that Mobile Suit? Like, is that Gundam? Is that a new Gundam series? I haven't watched Gundam since Unicorn, dude. I've been out of Gundam for so long. It's not because I don't like it. I love Gundam. I just haven't watched Gundam in a long time. So I don't even know what's worth watching at this point. Tiniest of Travelers. Personally, I love how well you've done the camo job. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. This is my first camo job I've ever painted on anything, so I really do appreciate those kind words. Man, I'm definitely gonna have to do a second coat on some of these touch-ups. It's a Gundam series, but it's old. So did that come out after Gundam Wing? Or before? It has to be before, right? No, maybe it's after. Gundam's in Vietnam, okay. Well, so BattleTech has the correct answer for how you handle that. You just commit war crimes and let Comstar sort it out later. I can't stand the cicadas and mech to fight against a pilot to see on the table, and for the first time I was like, okay, that painted so well, even I'd feel it. Oh. Oh, that means a lot, actually. No, there's just something about this. Like, I'll show you, I don't know when you tuned into the stream. I'm basically making a kind of a Garrison lance for scenario type of play. And I just wanted to take some mechs that I usually see in the games and stuff. And you always see a cicada. In the turn-based game, you always see a Clint. You always see a Vindicator. And for my last one, you see a Firestarter a lot. Or, if I want, this guy's done. I didn't do a camo paint job on him. You see a little Irby. So I wanted to do some mechs that you see a lot, fairly ubiquitous, at least in the video games, for a Garrison. And Cicada is definitely one of those, right? I won't deny how cute that mech is, be it for me to say otherwise. It is a cute mech. It is a cute mech. It is a cute mech. It's kind of funny. I never thought I would say this. It's more relaxing to paint mechs than it is to paint creatures and people and characters. I think it's because you've got a lot more freedom, right? Like, you're not trying to do, like, you know, like, so this is a cicada. This is, they're what, 40 tons? This is a cicada. That's 6mm scale. This is a 32mm scale person, and they do have larger heads, which I do like. However, if we compare the two, look how small that face is. It's still really small. Oh, I hear somebody. I'm sorry I didn't unlock that. Let's be real, combat wise, it's a step above strapping yourself to a radio flyer with a cardboard shell. That's true. How was your game?
Fine.
It's fine. might be the wrong color for that. Oh, I had one of those, yeah. Did I ever watch Macross? I have not. Although the mech is very cool in it. Or is what we would call... Was it the Wasp? The unseen mech? Is a humble bundle for BattleTech novels? Ooh, that's cool. Top Gun the anime. Yeah, I'd like that for sure. I should go back and watch some of that stuff. Eureka 7. I've not heard of Eureka 7. I've watched every single episode of Gundam Wing and Endless Waltz, the kind of, I guess, was it a movie that kind of tied things together at the end? I was huge into Gundam Wing. That's why, like I said, if I ever do a Gunpla, it's gonna be Wing Gundam. And I really don't care if that's like, you know, not cool for like people that are super hardcore into Gundams. That was honestly my first anime, was Gundam Wing. Trying to add some of this green back without washing out any of the wash that I added to it. So tiniest of travelers, I have to ask, did you back the Mercenaries Kickstarter? I went a little nuts on it, I'm not gonna lie. Put some of this green up back here. I don't know if those are meant to be exhausts. They might be. I don't know. I'm kind of digging it though. Witch from Mercury? I have not. I am so far behind on anime. I haven't even seen Demon Slayer, and I know that's a big one. I'm way far I haven't watched an anime since like One Punch Man. That's how far back I am on animes. I like them. I just haven't really watched too much. I probably should though, because there's still good writing there. I've been playing BattleTech for so long, about so many miniatures. I was like, I've paid my due. The next gen can raise the funds. Dude, I hear you for sure. Although the Battalion, if you got in at Battalion, I think it ended up to be like $350 or something a mini. No, I feel you. So you were probably playing BattleTech back with the old metal ones, huh? I remember seeing those in places when I was a young lass, and I never really had anybody to play with, so I never bought any. The old... I do have some actually vintage Ralpartha that I bought that haven't been painted yet. That's an old Ralpartha D&D elf. I don't know what happened to the female elf that he came with, because that was going to be my character, and I lost her. I also got... where is she? I had some really cool Ravenloft ones that were Ralpartha. This is not Ralph Partha. This is a more modern one, but it's also a metal miniature. Oh, heavy too. But yeah, cool stuff. Evangelion movie to wrap it up. Don't know when a good time to do it would be. I was playing when they sucked, yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, pewter definitely is not so fun to play with. This is one that's a more modern one that I had to assemble. That's metal. And I might strip this one because my Zenithal I can do so much better now. This was all with rattle can. And I could do so much a better job. But yeah, cleaning up metal and stuff is kind of a pain. More of a pain than even resin is, honestly, to deal with. All right, well, I think we'll probably, well, let me just hit that actuator up a little bit. Nostalgia aside and rarity, there's no model that outdoes the new plastic line. Yeah, that's true. Hey, Lars, how are you doing? It's been a while. Yeah, the new plastics look great. These are resin, but I do have some new plastic ones. I think I pulled one out to show people. But yeah, here's one, just as an example. There's just a lot of detail. It's great, really. Oh, it's good to hear. I will say though, there's definitely a charm to those older mechs, like the older Atlas. Here's like the newer design. This is resin. It's gonna be really hard to see what that looks like on stream because he's all primed up right now. I have a resin printer and I also have an FDM printer. The FDM is working overtime making some BattleTech terrain, and it's going to also be printing out a Mario Kart trophy tomorrow. So that'll be fun. I can't tell anyone how to feel about their models, but I can tell you how I feel about my models, and the fact remains the new stuff is so good, so much better detailed, and they come out of the box ready to paint in 90% of the cases. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So you don't prime the new ones? That seems like sacrilege to me. I always prime my stuff. How well do you remember MechWarrior 5 trailer, and was it not the absolute hype of shit? I don't remember the MechWarrior 5 trailer at all. Would you like me to make you a mojito?
Oh, are there no dose in here?
There should be.
I wanted a dose.
Oh.
I think you drank them all. I haven't even had any.
I can make you a mojito.
Guess I'll have something else.
Let's get in there. These air paints really do go on thin. But I think I'm pretty happy with where that's at for now. Oh, let me just hit this real quick. That might all end up big. I might paint that metal later. No clipping, no sanding, no extra steps. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I really think the airbrush has helped priming a lot. Like when I do zenithal priming, I haven't done that on a mech model, although I want to. It comes out so much smoother. Like I can just show you. So for example, this was one that was, actually let me do like one for one. This is one that was zenithal primed with an airbrush. And this is one that was done with rattle can. And you can just tell the difference in the particles. The one on the right is just so much smoother. And this one is, you can actually, you might even be able to see the dots, the little speckles. So if you're speed paint, if you want to use speed paint on something like this, it's going to come out kind of grainy looking, whereas this is going to come out a lot smoother. So yeah. All right, well, I think we're at like 2.5 hours. I think I'm gonna call a stream, but this was a lot of fun. I'm gonna do another stream probably this weekend, maybe Saturday. Do some more mech painting. We'll finish these guys up. We got the cicada and the, where's the other guy at? Oh, here he is. Then the Clint. Go over these, finish these up, and we will, sorry, that was not the Clint, that was the Vindicator. This is the Clint and our fire starter. We'll get them painted up with their camo scheme. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, see you on Saturday.